Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the Retro No Cap Recap of The Curse of Oak Island Season 7, Episode 20, called Springing the Trap, originally aired April 7th, 2020. If you missed any of my recaps of previous and future episodes, there's a link to my Oak Island playlist in the upper right. Let's get into it. Do. Previously, on The Curse of Oak Island, people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 229 years. The Caisson 8A excavation continues in an effort to locate the searcher tunnel from shaft 6 so that it can be used to find the exact spot of the original money pit shaft, which has been lost for 100 years. Now at approximately 78 feet underground, the hammergram is bringing up only in situ material, which is what you would find above a tunnel. To the west of the money pit, members of the team are also still exploring the swamp. It has previously been scientifically determined to have been man-made approximately 340 years prior in 1680. The swamp was drained as much as possible earlier in the season to make digging possible. Billy removes another layer of muck and reveals rocks sitting on clay, which Gary thinks may be an extension of the paved area dated to the 1200s. Near them, Gary metal detects what he says is like a cribbing spike. In that same area, 7 weeks prior, Gary and Jack found part of a pickaxe, Carmen dated by a blacksmith, Carmen Leg, to the mid-1700s. Gary then finds another cribbing spike in the same spot. This is more straight. Gary and Alex continue metal detecting the same area and find a modern bucket handle, and then this X-cut and burned wood. The next morning, Vanessa tells Rick, Marty, and other members of the team that the caisson is at 101 feet and the hammer grab excavation is at 91 feet. Shaft 6 was dug to 118 feet, but due to all of the various searcher group digs, the money pit area now has a 10-foot lower elevation. Also, after shaft 6 and tunnel 6 were flooded, water is undefeated on Oak Island. Very loud crashing was heard by people on the surface, leading them to believe that not only did shaft 6 collapse, but the original money pit shaft did as well. The caisson encounters something more difficult to cut through, possibly the top of a tunnel as imagined here. The hammer grab brings up axe cut wood. I included this shot of them looking at the wood some more so that you can see how big the hammer grab being used is. This one is a backup. At the wash table, where all of the caisson spoils are gone through by hand, Steve spots a piece of leather. Bookbinding leather was found 2 years prior in caisson H8, which is 10 feet from the current location called 8A. Also found were pieces of parchment, human bones, carbon dated to the 1600s, plus concrete and wood, which is how the chapel vault was described. Jack finds other pieces of leather and says they are all the same thickness. From 114 feet comes this huge beam, also hand cut. And Gary metal detects this iron needle, which he suspects is a sailcloth needle. For clarification on some of the recent metal finds, Marty, Alex, and Gary return to New Ross to see blacksmith Carmen Leg. Carmen says the bent spike is actually a tine off of a moss or seaweed fork. He says the straight one is a marlin spike, which is used for weaving or braiding sails and ropes. Marlin spikes became commonly used in the early 1600s. Narrator Robert Clotworthy reminds us of the theory that a ship was sailed in between the then 2 islands, then burned, then buried within a swamp created when the 2 islands were connected. Carmen says this is not a sail needle because it's too small. He further says that the only purpose he could imagine for it underground would be as a booby trap. Carmen goes on to say it would be inserted into wood up to the point where he is holding it, and there would be hundreds of them. Carmen dates it from 15 to mid 1700s. Back at the wash table, Steve finds a and forge inch. Laird arrives and agrees with that assessment. Back in the money pit area, 8A spoils turn into mostly clay and water. Marty thinks they hit part of a collapsed shaft, but not the entire thing. I'll be continuing retro no-cap recaps of seasons 7 and 8, while also recapping the new season 12 episodes late Tuesday nights as they air. All other episodes are in my Oak Island playlist. There are no new Oak Island shows on Christmas Eve nor New Year's Eve 2024. I'm also doing retro no-cap recaps of seasons 2 through 4 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch as I have time. Seasons 1 and 5 are all done and are in the Skinwalker Ranch playlist. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Sempre avanti. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all.